I'm not saying if you're broke, you're not worthy of love and happiness.
And to pay for the date. Yes, the whole entire date. That includes my Uber.
Around in these little outfits, like their BBLs are hanging out, like their ass is hanging out.
A ladylike thing to do?
It's not necessarily ladylike, but it is highly rewarding.
You should not be dating.
Okay, I wonder if that applies to women as well as men.
I'm not saying if you're broke, you're not worthy of love and happiness.
Well, that's good, because that would be a very classist mentality.
You're just not worthy of me.
No, so this is a pay-to-play kind of thing, is it?
Just kidding. You need to focus on yourself. Broke guys are usually the most insecure guys on the planet. I swear to God.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure they're very happy and secure in the fact that they don't have to worry about dating someone who's only after their money.
It's not necessarily their fault.
Oh?
Because as a society, we have prided men and we have made their self-worth contingent on how much money they make or their profession.
As a society, is it? Well then, it seems like some women are doing a great job of perpetuating that.
The broke men, they walk around with a chip on their shoulder.
Is anyone else wondering what they actually consider to be broke?
If you don't like your circumstances, try to do something about it. Don't be mad at everyone else. Especially not me. What did I do?
Well, one is perpetuating the idea that men aren't worth dating unless they make a certain amount of money every year, which is really no different than men saying that they won't date a woman unless she looks a certain way. But yet, lots of women find reasons to get mad at that.
By that same logic, when men do earn money, they have the right to select the woman they want to spend their life with, meaning a woman with zero body count, feminine and familial nature, fit mind and body, and most importantly, someone who is going to support them in their tough times.
I expect a man to pay for the date. Yes, the whole entire date. That includes my Uber to the date and my Uber back to my house. If you are a man that I'm interested in, I want to see that you can provide for me. I want to see that you can afford an Uber ride. I want to see that you can afford a nice dinner date. Like, can you afford basic things? Because if you can't afford dinner and an Uber, my transportation, you certainly can't afford kids. You certainly can't afford a house. You certainly can't afford my bills. And I got bills to pay. Okay?
This sort of list of demands is absolutely a turnoff to all men because they all know that when this is her attitude, she is not reciprocating. She's not putting in effort. She's literally just existing, and she'll actually call that effort. No, a man wants a relationship because of what can be created within that relationship. But when it's pretty clear that a woman just wants to take, especially this early on, that man is just going to look elsewhere, or he'll just decide he's staying single.
The way she talks only conveys that she lost touch with her reality a long time ago, and now the only thing she does possess is a huge bill, which she will try to rack on the next man she can trap.
Average woman in Miami walks around looking like an absolute, like I'm talking like an actual, I'm talking about like actual. Like, they literally walk around, like, I was walking around in Brickell earlier, and they're walking around in these little outfits, like, their BBLs are hanging out, like, their ass is hanging out, you know, their boobs are hanging out, and they think it's cute because they all look like it, but they don't know how crazy they all look. And, like, you're never going to bag, like, a man of means looking like that, because he's just gonna run through you and run on to the next.
They walk around like that because they have been brainwashed into thinking that wearing revealing dresses shows how modern and independent they are when they only look like a showpiece ready to be nailed.
Why would I help a man get on his feet if there are men who are already standing up?
Oh, darling, I got some bad news for you. You see, as one of those men who's gotten on his feet, probably has more money in the bank than you'll make in 3 lifetimes, has been very successful. The question you really need to be asking is not why would you help a man get on his feet, but why would a man who's on his feet want anything to do with you? Because what are you bringing to the table? Oh, I know, you're going to say this. Well, I hate to break it to you, but this ain't worth what you think it is. There's plenty of this to be found elsewhere. The fact of the matter is what you're showing to men who are on their feet is that you're nothing more than someone who's looking for a paycheck. You're looking for someone to take care of you. You're looking for someone to bear the burden for a lifestyle you think you deserve so that you don't have to put any effort into acquiring it. The reality is this is the mindset of most of today's modern women. The ones who think that they deserve it all while putting absolutely no effort in whatsoever. They think that they are all that, when in reality, they're anything but. And unfortunately for these women, reality is going to smack them right in the face in a few years. They're going to hit that wall, and they're going to realize that all their expectations and dreams about what men are supposed to do for them isn't going to come to fruition. They're going to end up alone and bitter. And then they're going to go making videos going, "Where are all the men at?" That's the reality, ladies. And you got two choices. You can keep doing what you're doing, which is basically what this woman is doing, or you can accept the fact that you need to start making an effort also, that you aren't all that, and that you're really not bringing anything to the table that men would really want. That is the reality, like it or not.
Similarly, why would a man who when reaches his full potential will want you, a entitled, rude brat who is only looking at him with dollars in her eyes? You see, if you wait on the finish line, then you can get in line.
Don't you see them working on oil rigs? Those are extremely high-paying jobs, way higher-paying jobs than being a coffee barista. There's no more barrier for entry. Why aren't they crossing over?
There's a couple of reasons, like might be raised in a household where they're taught, hey, that's not a very ladylike thing to do. You should focus instead on, like, you know, taking care of children.
That's really weird. Is pornography a ladylike thing to do?
It's not necessarily ladylike, but it is highly rewarded.
Yeah, here's what's so interesting to your argument. Is not ladylike in any way, shape, or form. So your argument of, wait a second, they're told that X thing is not ladylike. It seems that women will ignore this isn't ladylike if it leads to a lot of money. If it leads to a bunch of money, suddenly the it's not ladylike, we can put a big X through it. So if we can put a big X through, doesn't seem very ladylike because we will compensate for that with money. Why they go do that with other jobs? Is it because they can't?
They say they want vulnerability. Yeah, but if you're vulnerable, you get punished.
Exactly. It's a double whammy, right? You open up to a girl, you share your heart, and then they see weakness, and they're like, all right, I'm cutting this off.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you're even more obstraught.
And you have to have some sort of story that you've already processed, that you've already dealt with. And so it's not really vulnerable, but it sounds
it's like 2 months ago this happened, but now I finally get my stuff onto it, and I have a plan to solve it, but that actually happened 2 months ago.
If you're just gonna like freak out in
you
general,
want a guy who's already processed the emotions, who has the stoicism and the confidence to deal with them correctly.
No.
That's why if a guy has a problem, you don't run to a girl, you run to your mom or the boys. Hey, because girls don't want a pity party.
I'll always be here for you.
Thank you.
I'll be here for you too.
Thank you.
I'll be here for you.